Welcome to the inaugural episode of How Do I Do That? Before we get started, I just want to take a minute to express how in awe I am of all of you. I think it was summed up at how extraordinary you are with that post that was shared from Ken Buck describing how you all have Apollo 13'd education. You've been able to shift what you do every day to a completely different method of delivery in an extremely short amount of time. We want you to know that we are all in this together. Mark my words, that is going to be the most overused phrase of 2020, but it really is true. You do not need to do this alone. Along with your PLC, you have various lifelines that are available to you. We are going to follow the launch, explore, discuss model for delivery. This means we will give you some content, a launch. We'll give you some time to try it out or explore, and then we'll come back and discuss. We'll do this either in our live conference setting or via the Canvas discussion space. That's for those of you who might work better in the middle of the night. Side note, do you know it was dumping snow at 2 o'clock this morning? And it's still snowing. It is also important for your students to see you. I know many of you don't like to be on camera, but guess what? Your students know what you look like. They've been looking at you for 7 months now. And guess what? You now know what I look like with bedhead at 5 o'clock in the morning. We've been getting a lot of requests for how do I make a screen recording. I struggled with where to start on this one. Do I want to show them how to do it on their Mac or their iPad? I settled on starting with the iPad because that's the world that our students are in. We need to be more comfortable with doing things using the tools that we're asking our students to use for demonstrating understanding. So here goes. For those of you who like written steps, I know who you are. There is also a handout link available either in the chat window or in the Canvas discussion space. So watch and learn and practice. This screen recording is going to walk you through how you can do your own screen recording on an iPad. The first thing I like to do is get my little button out that helps me point to things for visibility. To do that, you would go to Settings and you'll go down to Accessibility. You'll go to Touch and turn on Assistive Touch. Now you'll see this button that you can move around. Okay. The next thing you'll need to do to set up screen recording is you'll need to enable it in the control center. If you've never done it before, you have to actually put it in so that when you swipe down from the corner, you'll see this little button. Mine's flashing red because my screen recording is actually going right now. So to do that, you'll go to Control Center and you'll choose Customize Controls. And you'll see I already have my screen recording here. It wasn't here. It did look like this before. And what you need to do is just press this little green plus sign. It'll move it up to the top. I'm going to go over to my little round home button on my device and just tap to close it and swipe to close my screen. To start a screen recording, you take your finger in the corner and you're going to swipe down at a diagonal. And then what you'll have to do, the first time your microphone is going to be off by default. That is one of the most frequently asked questions the first time somebody does a screen recording is, I did this great recording, but there's no sound. So the first time you want to actually press on this and make sure that the microphone is on. You might have other things in this menu, like Teams, but this is just where is your screen recording going to save. And then when you're finished, I don't usually go back to the corner. I go up and press this little red dot to end my screen recording. Now it's your turn. So you're going to go practice this. So you'll pause this video, go practice, and come back and resume the video. You'll just close this screen and then come back. See you in a couple minutes. Welcome back. Hopefully you were successful at practicing this skill. The discussion questions for when we meet back, either in the conference space or if you're doing this in the Canvas discussion space, are as follows. Was I able to do this activity? 0 would mean no. 1 is yes, but I struggled a little bit. 2 is yes, and I think I can actually show someone else. And then think about what ways do you think you could use this skill in your teaching and learning practices? And then finally, what questions do you have? If you're participating in the live conference, come on back and let me know you're here by writing "I'm back" in our chat space. If you're doing this at another time, please respond to the discussion questions. It's in the Canvas discussion space. Feel free to address each other's questions, and just remember that the wisdom of the group is great. See you in a minute.